Welcome to the RES IT Store tutorial 6040, IT Store Behavior. This tutorial explains how to configure the behavior of the IT Store web portal. The IT Store allows you to configure settings for the IT Store web portal. This includes connection settings, service request behavior, email integration, and password reset. This tutorial shows you how to configure the general properties of the IT Store web portal, how to configure email integration and email templates, and how to configure the password reset functionality. In the IT Store console, select the Setup menu, IT Store Behavior. In the Web Portal URL field, specify the URL of your RES IT Store portal. In the People Identifier field, specify the identifier that is used to authenticate users when they connect to the RES IT Store environment. Here we'll select the default Windows user account. Optionally, click Change Catalog Service Password to change the password of the catalog services. If you change this password, it also needs to be changed in the IIS settings of the RES IT Store web portal. In the default web portal service request behavior area, configure the default behavior of the labels on the services for the RES IT Store web portal. This behavior can be overridden for individual services. Select Add to Cart to make the shopping cart functionality available for the RES IT Store web portal. Services will be shown in the portal with a button labeled Add to Cart. This allows people to add services to the shopping cart and order all services in the cart at once instead of one at a time. The option Add to Cart is selected by default. Select Install to show services in the IT Store web portal with a button labeled Install. This label is useful for services that are aimed at installing or providing software. Select Request to show services in the RES IT web portal with a button labeled Request. This is useful for services that involve requesting access to a resource, such as a printer. Use the Apple Device ID field to specify the people identifier that is used to authenticate users when they connect to the RES IT Store environment with an Apple iPhone or iPad. Optionally, click Create Service Request iPhone iPad Configuration to create a pre-configured service that sends emails to subscribers with instructions to install and configure the iPhone iPad client. Click the Email Integration tab. When the service is delivered or canceled, a notification message is sent to the RES IT Store web portal for each workflow action that requires user interaction. By configuring the email integration, you can also have these messages sent by email. Depending on the configuration, these emails contain a link that opens the RES IT Store web portal. It is therefore important to have configured the RES IT Store web portal prior to configuring email integration. In the server field, specify the name of the mail server that sends the email. In the Security Context field, specify the credentials for the email address specified in the From field. For example, the credentials of the email account administrator at resdemo.com. In the People Identifier field, specify the email address with which people are identified by the mail server. If the email integration is enabled, notifications will always be sent by email for all workflow actions in the service that require user interaction. These notifications will also be sent to the RES IT Store web portal. The Email Template tab specifies the template of the email notifications that are sent if you have configured the email integration. Use this tab to adjust the contents of these notifications. On the Password Reset tab, you can configure settings that allow people to reset their password for the RES IT Store web portal and/or the workspace of RES Workspace Manager. When configured, a password reset link will be available to the login window of the RES IT Store web portal and/or the workspace of the RES Workspace Manager. When the people click the link, their password will be reset through automatic delivery of a service. Select Enable Password Reset to enable the password reset functionality. If configured in RES Workspace Manager, this also makes the reset password functionality available in the login window of the user workspace. Select Show Password Reset link on the web portal login screen to make the password reset functionality also available in the RES IT Store web portal. In the People Identifier field, select the people identifier that is used to authenticate people when they request for a password reset. For example, a Windows user account. Select Password Reset Service to select the service that will be delivered as part of the password reset request. This service must contain a workflow action, confirm transaction. Please refer to the help of the RES IT Store 2014 Administration Guide for more information on how to configure this action. Use the Password Reset Link field to configure the text of the password reset link. Optionally, select Override Password Reset Link to specify a custom text instead of the default one. Use the User Instruction field to provide instructions for when users click on the password reset link. Optionally, select Override User Instructions to specify a custom field instead of the default one. Use the Feedback Message field to provide additional instructions. Optionally, select Override Feedback Message to specify a custom text instead of the default one. This concludes this RES IT Store tutorial. For additional information on RES IT Store and RES IT Suite, please visit www.ressoftware.com.